Goodbye, grey, rainy London. Hello, sunny Athens.
Hello, hi.
You, lucky viewer, get to tag along with me as I explore the history and spiritual significance of ancient sites in Greece. Spoiler alert, I discovered some well-known Greek mythology may be more than just old folk tales after all, and perhaps based on some true stories. Greece is an abundance of majestic ancient sites such as the Temple of Poseidon, Nafplio, Mycenae and Delphi's archaeological sites to name a few. This is why I chose Athens as the perfect base to conveniently reach all of these different locations for day trips. Not to mention, the capital is also where the famous Acropolis lays. Standing atop the rocky mountain in the heart of Athens, the symbol of the golden age of ancient Greece. Its most iconic structure, the Parthenon, was built in honour of Athena, the goddess of wisdom and warfare, whom the Athenians believed protected their city. This archaeological masterpiece reflects the ingenuity and devotion of ancient Greeks, serving as both a place of worship and monument to their values. But the Acropolis is more than just stone and history. It's a place steeped in mythology. Legend has it that the hill itself was the site of the contest between Athena and Poseidon to become the patron deity of Athens. Poseidon struck the rock with his trident, bringing forth a saltwater spring, while Athena planted the olive tree, symbolizing peace and prosperity. The people of Athens chose Athena, and her gift continues to inspire to this day. Visiting the Acropolis was a deeply grounding experience for me. As I wandered through the ancient ruins, I reflected on how these structures have stood the test of time. Another fun fact for you, did you know that there is a height restriction law in Athens, so that the view of this site is not blocked to the rest of the city? I had no idea before coming here, but as I viewed it from the balcony of my hotel room, I completely understand why. The next stop was a blazing hot day trip to Cape Sunion via the absolutely stunning Vyolagmeni Lake. Also, just a quick side note to any Greeks that may be watching this in horror and listening to my atrocious pronunciation of things, I do apologise sincerely. Back to Cape Sunion. With its windswept cliffs and panoramic views of the Yargan, it kind of feels like the edge of the world. Towering above it all is the Temple of Poseidon, a 5th century BC marvel dedicated to the Greek god of the sea. Walking along the temple's ruins, I marvelled at its precision and placement. The ancient Greeks didn't just build this temple for worship. They chose this spot deliberately, aligning it with the sun and the sea to create a harmonious balance with nature. Standing there, it's easy to see why the views were mesmerising. It really did feel as though this place was meant to be something more than just stone and sky. Myth and history intertwine here. For all you foodies out there, I'm so excited to tell you about my trip to Delphi. We'll get to the temples and stuff later, but I couldn't get there on an empty stomach, so lunch stopped first to the gorgeous village of Arachova. Before this trip, if you had asked me what foods I was looking forward to the most in Greece, of course I would have mentioned something like a gyros or the famous Greek cheese, or even their olive oil. Thanks to the goddess Athena, as we learnt earlier. But for some reason, a well-kept secret in Greek food is how insanely well they do pancakes. I mean, think of all the places you can imagine that are famous for pancakes. I would have never even thought to put Greece in the top 10 of that. But now, I've got to say, it's probably number 1 for me. And that's not a statement I make lightly. And Arachova, of all the places I visited in Greece and had pancakes at each stop, and trust me, I had plenty of pancakes. Arachova had the fluffiest, most perfect pancakes I've ever had in my entire life. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Back to the ancient sites. nestled on the slopes of Mount Parnassus. Delphi is a place where the ancient and the mystical seem to converge. Known as the Ompalos, or navel of the world, this site was once the spiritual heart of ancient Greece, a place where gods spoke through mortals and destinies were shaped. Walking along the remnants of its temples and treasures, it's impossible not to feel the weight of its history and its magic. Delphi's centerpiece, without a doubt, is the Temple of Apollo, home to the oracle who was said to channel the god's voice. Leaders and commoners alike travelled here seeking guidance, offering treasures in exchange for cryptic wisdom. The myths tell us that Apollo himself chose this site, slaying the serpent python to claim it as his sanctuary. Standing there, surrounded by crumbling stones and the whispering wind, it's easy to imagine the awe and trepidation of those ancient pilgrims. Interestingly, Delphi isn't the only place around the world referred to as the navel of the world. Many cultures across the globe have their own sacred centres, like Rapa Nui in Easter Island, with its Te Pito or Te Henua translating to the navel of the earth, and India's Kashi, Varanasi, revered as the spiritual centre of the world. These shared ideas remind us of humanity's universal yearning to define a sacred focal point, a place that connects the earthly and the divine. Delphi isn't just a place of myths, it's a place of breathtaking beauty. The landscape unfolds in dramatic layers, sheer cliffs, olive groves stretching to the horizon, and a sky that seems impossibly vast. As I wandered, I felt a deep sense of connection, as if the echoes of those who came before still lingered in the air. Once upon a time, ancient Greeks came here seeking clarity, and in some way, I found my own. Despite being surrounded by a gazillion tourists and selfie sticks, sitting on a stone wall overlooking the valley, I allowed myself to simply be, to breathe deeply and let the enormity of the place remind me that life is as much about seeking questions as it is about finding the answers. It's not hard to see why the Greeks considered Delphi sacred. There's something undeniably powerful about standing in a place where people once sought the divine. After a scenic drive through the stunning Argolis countryside, we reached our first stop of the day, the archaeological site of Mycenae. Now this one I was really looking forward to. Tucked into the hills of the Peloponnese, the archaeological site of Mycenae stands as a testament to a civilization that shaped Greek history and mythology. This Bronze Age stronghold, once the seat of the mighty Mycenaean kingdom, exudes an air of grandeur even in its ruins. Walking through the monumental gates and gazing at its towering walls, it's easy to understand why the Athenians believed this place was built by giants. At the heart of Mycenae lies the iconic Lion Gate, a symbol of power and protection that greets visitors with an imposing presence. Beyond it, the royal palace and the grave circles whisper of a society steeped in wealth, trade and warrior culture. The treasures unearthed here, like the famous mask of Agamemnon, reveal a glimpse of Mycenaean people's artistic brilliance and their obsession with the afterlife. Mycenae is deeply intertwined in the Homeric legend. According to the myth, it was ruled by King Agamemnon. Wow, I should be sued for that pronunciation. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyway, he led the Greek forces to victory in the Trojan War. Yet Mycenae's tales are not all triumph and glory. They are also marked by tragedy and betrayal. From the king's ill-fated homecoming to the curse of the house of Atreus, this site is steeped in stories that blend history with the supernatural. What struck me the most about Mycenae was its sense of timelessness. Its location perched high above the surrounding countryside, offering sweeping views that must have once inspired both awe and security. Now, it's only right for me to finish off in a place that was once revered as a sanctuary, dedicated to Asclepius, the Greek god of healing. Now, if you already know about Epidaurus, it makes perfect sense why we're finishing off with this one. If you don't, subscribe to the channel and get to know more about well-being travel. Hidden in the rolling hills of the Peloponnese, Epidaurus wasn't just a city, but a holistic centre of well-being, attracting people from all over the ancient world seeking cures for their ailments. Walking through the site today, you can feel the echoes of its purpose. The centrepiece, of course, is the Theatre of Epidaurus, an absolute masterpiece of ancient Greek engineering, renowned for its extraordinary acoustics. It's said that even a whisper from the stage can reach the highest seats, a design that fostered not just entertainment, but a shared sense of connection and harmony. But Epidaurus wasn't just about performances, it was about restoration. Adjacent to the theatre, the sanctuary hosted healing rituals that blended medicine, nature, and spirituality. Pilgrims would rest in this section, where dreams were believed to hold the key to their cures, interpreted by the priests of Asclepius. I had a little seat in the theatre. I couldn't help but notice the tranquil landscape and reflect on how the ancient Greeks saw healing as much more than just physical. It was about restoring balance of the soul, an approach I believe modern society can definitely gain from adopting. It is my genuine wish for all of you to have the unforgettable experience I had exploring these sacred sites. That's why Epidaurus has partnered with Get Your Guide to make booking these exact day trips that I went on super easy for you. All the tours and day trips I mentioned, from Athens to Cape Sunon, Delphi, Mycenae, Nafplio and Epidaurus, among other places I can't pronounce, are available to book via Epidaurus.com. Commission I receive from your booking really goes a long way to support this small and growing channel and everything I do to promote well-being travel. So if you're dreaming of your own Greek adventure, check out the links in the description below and start planning your trip back to ancient times so that together we can create memories for life.